Today's online event is going to be facilitated by Nuruddin Merchant, who's a Senior Associate of Library Education Programs from Habib University, and he's going to be helped by his colleague. I probably should have asked about the name first. Is that Faiz?
Yes, it's Faiz Ahmad.
Faiz Ahmad, who's Assistant Manager of the Library and Digital Services, again, at Habib University. So without further ado, Noor, over to you, and let's get started.
Okay, thank you so much, Alex. I hope participants can see me and hear me, so you can do a thumbs up if you can. Great. So let me share my screen. So I'm sure screen is also visible. Great, thank you. So I would like to begin today's session by expressing my deepest condolences and prayers for our beloved colleague, Elizabetha. May her soul rest in eternal peace. I would also like to express my gratitude to all administration and coordinating committee members of MECAL for providing ongoing professional development opportunities, which has really led me to equip myself to offer Tech in Practice program at Habib University in collaboration with our CTLT, which we call CPE, Center for Pedagogical Excellence, and to contribute this workshop as well. So thank you very much, MECAL Coordinating Committee and all the administration team for these opportunities, which has helped me a lot. So let's talk about some norms. So these are some of the norms of the sessions today. So if possible, please keep your video on, because I think this gives a lot of energy to see your faces, smiles, and participation. So if possible for you, please keep it on. During the session, you may share your comments and ideas in the Zoom chat. Raise human hands and unmute if needed to share a technical glitch. If you have, we'll try to resolve it for you as well. Questions and feedback go into the Slido Q&A. I was thinking that we should actually compile all the questions and then respond to them at the end of the workshop, along with collect your feedback as well. This is a hands-on workshop, so attempt all activities. So I have tried to make this workshop not very technical. So you have to consider yourself as students at some point in time and participate in all activities. There is a challenge as well. So we'll be actually having 3 challenges. So let's see who attempts how in these challenges, how they are actually, they score against those challenges. And encourage and appreciate each other, whether you see pass or fail or reach at the top or not. Try and appreciate each other. So I encourage each other, so that would keep our workshop and the session very lively and appreciated. So let's move to the next slide. So I would like now to invite you to open this website on your computer, which is called slido.com. Faiz would actually type the address there. So you can actually click in the chat window and copy the address from here, slido.com. So if you are able to open the website, just give me a thumbs up that yes, the website is open. Excellent. Thanks, Sally. I'm sure Maheen has been able to open the website. Shahinaz Abdul Rahman, are you okay? Have you been able to open the website? Okay, great. So now Faiz will be sharing with you a code. What I wanted to do is I want to know your experience with online engagement and what are some of the tools you have been using during the pandemic and right now when this campus is closed for most of all of us. So it's an opportunity to know from each other as well that what tools you have been using for online engagement. So you will be getting a code which you would put here. You can see a red circle here, enter code here. So you will put the code here and press this arrow sign. So it will take you to Slido's option of word cloud. So let's begin. So if you are on your mobile phone, you can also access Slido from your cell phone by using the scanner option. So if it's on Apple, you can actually open the camera and then scan this. If you are not on Apple and if you are using Android phone, so you can actually use Android option as well. Because I realize there are times when students also use their cell phones to attend classes. So I thought I should share this option with you as well. So on Android phone, you have these tools, and in tools you can find scanner somewhere. So you can actually click on that, and then you can scan the code and reach to this page, which would now come to you as well. So the event code is 1648. Once you reach, put the event code, you will get this screen. So there is a desktop view for your help, and there's a cell phone view. You will find Q&A and polls option. If you are with me, just put yes in the chat window, so I know that you are able to. Thank you, Vada. What about others? Zinia, thank you. Thanks, Ali. Thanks, Ahmed. Excellent. So on desktop, you get this view, and on cell phone, you will be able to see this view. And you have to select the polls option right now. And during the session, if you want to post your questions, so you can select or click on Q&A and post your questions and feedback here, which will be responding at the end. So right now you have to click on the polls option. And now you can start typing and sending your response against this question. Which tools or ideas you use in your class, online class for students engagement? Socrative, excellent. Kahoot. Excellent. Teams, SharePoint. Chat room on WebEx, great. What about a hypothesis? Okay, polls on WebEx. Zoom, of course. We are also using Zoom, breakout rooms and Zoom. Chat room on WebEx actually is used widely. Polls on WebEx. Games order, I missed that. I don't know what this is. Nearpod, Slack, okay. Teams chat option. Excellent. So let's move forward now. So I've got an idea of many other options which you are using for engaging students. That's great. Now there's another question for which you will get 30 seconds to think and type, and do not press enter unless I say you to enter in the chat window. So in your opinion, how many interactive opportunities should be provided in a 50-minute online class? Just think about it for 30 seconds, type your response in the chat, and do not press enter until I say you to press enter. So the question is, in your opinion, how many interactive opportunities should be provided in a 50 minutes online class? When I say press enter, then you will press enter. Okay, 3, 2, 1, press enter. Okay, 5, minimum 2, as many as break up the content, but more is better. Okay, thanks, Alice. Aras, thank you. Vada too. Okay. What about others? What other colleagues think? How many interactive opportunities should be provided in a 50 minutes online class? Okay, so there is no hard and fast answer to this, but usually it has been said that after every 10 or 15 minutes, we should actually provide some form of interactive option to the students and the learners so they can remain engaged during this classroom. Thank you so much for your ideas and experiences. So how interactive quizzes and games help? So in my opinion, they help us with formative assessment, which is one form of assessment when we want to see how students has grasped the ideas and the concepts. It can help us in recapping learning. So you have done a session and you want to know that how much of it has been retained with the students. You can take quick feedback from students, and it's also useful for keeping them engaged and active. Uh, I think in July and August, I attended OLC Innovate, and thanks to Amicale again. So I was introduced to Flower Darby, and she has written a book, Small Teaching Online, just before the pandemic started. It was published, and she has authored it with James M. Lang, and she has rightly pointed out a very important aspect of our online teaching sessions, in which she says, I quote, "There is seemingly endless way of available technologies with more coming out every day. By the time you are reading this, the above tools may have been suspended and by even more effective solutions. The point is to find a tech tool that accomplishes your objective and aligns with the desired level of thinking for the learning activity you use for it." So it's very important to first know what our learning objective is, what our learning outcome is, and then how to use or the different tools available to meet that learning objectives. Otherwise, there would be a confusion whether this tool has helped you in your classroom or not. So I really, whenever I do some session with students or while with faculty members, I ask this question to my own self, that what are the objectives and the outcomes, and then I try to select the tool. So when it comes to games and quizzes, a few available options which I know are these. So there are options or tools which could be integrated with LMS. So if you are using Moodle, or if you are using Blackboard, or you are using Canvas, so these three are actually those tools which could be integrated with LMS, right? And there are others like Slido, Quizzes, PhET, Kahoot, Mentimeter, Props, which are not integrated with LMS right now. Maybe they would be actually sharing in future their options for getting them integrated in your LMS. One of the things which Profs offers for faculty is very important to know that it offers a quiz bank option as well. So it's not free, of course, you have to subscribe it for your institution. But it offers a quiz bank option from which each student can then get randomly selected questions and then they can respond to it. So we'll be talking about a few of these tools now, and then we'll experience them together. So this is H5P. Faiz can share the link. There is they have a subscription version, which is h5p.com, and there is a free version, which sometimes create troubles, but you can test it, which is h5p.org. And these are all the options for interaction available in h5p.com. Very comprehensive. So you can have quizzes, you can have actually dictation tools available. You can actually have fill in the blanks option available, drag and drop option available against the questions. And there are many. So there is a tool on video as well. So and I said this can be integrated in Moodle as well as in Canvas and Blackboard as well. PhET is another website which is developed by University of Colorado, and it has interactive simulations for science and maths. And of course, these simulations also end up in quizzes. So for example, if you go to this website and you click on physics or any subject you teach, if it's available there, you can see a lot of simulations which you can use in your classrooms. And you can also specify or filter those through the level of education or schooling you are doing with. For example, if you are doing high school students or university students, so you can actually select from the left, and then it filters and brings a lot of simulations which are available in this website. And they are actually, again, as I said, they also end up in quizzes. You can also create your own simulation here and then engage students. So this website is FET dot. Yes, monitoring would be a problem, but as I said, Maheen, we have to design a strategy, a plan where we can actually address all the things together. So FET is a part of the plan, and of course, we have to see how we can actually align it with our assessment strategies and goals. So we have just tried out Slido, and you have tested the word cloud option in Slido and the Q&A, which would we will get back to in the end of the session. So it integrates with Google Slides and PowerPoint. They have a beta version available for integration with PowerPoint. The free version has options including a quiz, a poll, open question, word cloud, and Q&A with upvote option. This is very fascinating when, let's say, students wants to ask some questions. They have an upvote option as well, where the questions which are voted mostly are actually, they come at the top, so they are sorted. 4 options can be used in the free version. It's also QR code enabled, as I shared it with you, so it could be accessed from the cell phone as well. So now let's come to Educa Play. This is free. There is a premium version, which is an ad-free version and has some data analytics capabilities as well. But you can use it freely and integrate it with your LMS. So it has a lot of challenges and options available, as we have in H5P as well. It can be integrated, as I shared earlier. Each type of challenge could be timed as well. And students, you can also set retry options, how many retries they can do with a particular type of a challenge. The free version keeps the challenges public. So this is an advantage and disadvantage as well. But the advantage part is that if you want to search different challenges developed by different faculty members, so you can search them and then you can use them in your lesson, in your topic which you are trying to deal with. As I said, a large library of number of challenges are available from across the globe. You can integrate it and use this. And advertisements is done before a challenge starts. So this advertisement is about Educa Play only. You will not find any corporate or food related ads there. So Educa Play's ad will be placed in the beginning. It's 30 to 40 seconds ad, which is played every time a challenge is initiated. So are you all with me? If you could write in the chat window, if you could write yes in the chat window, okay. Thank you. So these are the options. So in Educa Play, you can get map quiz, you can get fill in the blanks game. If you are maybe teaching English, for example, or any other subject, there's a dialogue game for, especially for language teaching. Puzzles are there, matching columns game, and memory game, slideshow, riddle, and many other options which you can include in your lesson, and as I said, integrate in your LMS as well. So we'll try today 2 options. One is matching column games, and this is a challenge which will be shared with you, and you will participate and see who completes this challenge faster. And then we'll also do a video quiz. A video quiz actually helps us to pause the video. So if you are using a YouTube video, for example, in a classroom, or your own recorded video in a classroom, and you want students to ask students questions at some intervals during that video. So you can use this video quiz option to allot questions at different intervals, which students can respond to. And there are different types of questions which could be configured and used. Okay. So when you create your sign up, you will find something like this. This is an interface. When you create your sign up, you can use your Google account or your official professional email address, workplace related address. So first you have to define the activities. So for example, I have defined 2 activities. One is called correct definitions and video quiz. And then you can create a challenge based on the activities. So say, for example, if you are teaching something tomorrow, so you have to first create the activities and then convert them into challenge. Unless you convert them into challenge, it would not allow you to get a pin code or a game code which you have to transfer to students in order to attempt this challenge. So the first step is creating the activities and then creating a challenge. So now I invite you to please open this website, game.educaplay.com, and then think of yourself as a student, and let's play together and conquer this challenge. So if you have done, open the website, just you can do a thumbs up, or you can write chat in the window that you have been able to open the website. You can just type yes if you have been able to open the website. Okay. So let's wait for others. Thanks, Sally. Thanks, Giselle. Excellent, thank you. So this is the address which you will be giving to your students, right? So whenever you create a challenge, you have to tell your students to log in using this URL, which is game.educaplay.com. Ahmed, we are just sharing the pin. I just wanted to ensure that everyone has been able to open it. Excellent. So this is the pin. Faz has typed it in the chat window as well. Access. And when you type this pin and press enter, you will find something like this. So under guest access, please type your name, because we have not been able to create a sign-in for each student. So under guest access, you can type your name and press login. Once you press login, you will get this challenge and the screen like this. Let me explain to you what is this challenge about. There are 4 terms and there are 4 definitions. So you have to match each term with each definition, right? And this challenge can be completed in 2 minutes. You can try it twice if you want to improve or you want to retry it. So you have to match the definitions with the correct term. What to write under guest access? You have to just put your name and just press login under guest access. You have to put your name here and just press login. So once you get this screen, so I'm sure everyone has been able to, okay, Sally, can you share with me what is it showing to you?
I went to the game educaplay.com and I'm not sure where to go from there.
So have been able to get this screen?
Games. Okay, let me see.
So let's wait for Sally.
No, now it's telling me no.
So can you check the spelling?
Let me see. Game. Okay. Singular. That helps.
Let me check. It's singular actually. It's not games. It's game.
Okay.
Game.educaplay.com. Faz, can you correct this, please? Type this again. Okay. So now if you are here in the access to challenges window, then you have to type this code. Once you type this code and press enter, you will get this screen which says guest access. Excellent. And under guest access, you can type your name because we wanted to see who has participated in this quiz. With your students, you can ask them to create a login or you can ask them to put their names. Both options are available. So first students have to create a sign-in and then they will be able to access it through sign-in, or if they are coming as a guest, you can ask them to put their names. So guys, if you are all here, so I invite you to press start and start playing.
Getting 100 means I won the game, or?
Okay, let's wait, Vada. So let me show the results to everyone once everyone has completed. So as I said, you have a panel available where you can see the results as well. So let everyone complete this challenge and then we'll see who has topped this challenge. So okay, it's not showing me. Oh, great. So we have Sally, who has completed this in 43 seconds. We have Giselle, completed in 45 seconds. Can you see this report? Is it visible? You can open up, unmute and let me know. Okay, okay, the screen is visible, great. So Vadha, you have taken 1 minute and 3 seconds. So you stands at fifth position actually. So yes, Sally, you were quick and you have won this challenge. Yay, great Sally. And Giselle, of course. Congratulations, Sally. So don't worry, we have one more challenge which we'll do together and have an opportunity to see who completes this first. So I hope you have got the idea of Educa Play, and as I said, it's very exciting to see students getting engaged, responding to the questions, and you can think of using it in your classes with your learning objectives which you have, whichever you have aligned or allocated for during the class. So this is done. Let's now move forward. So the next challenge is about a video. So you will see a video. It's on consumerism, and at 3 different intervals, you will be asked a question, and you have to respond this question. So while watching the video, I would request you to unmute yourself. So sorry, mute yourself. So we are not able. All challenges are a test of speed. Yes, exactly. So you have to mute your microphones so we cannot hear the sounds of the video from everyone's computer. So let's move forward. So now this is the code for the video quiz. Again, you have to put game.educaplay.com and code 784618. So you will be reaching here again. You can press the start button if you are all here and start attempting this challenge. So this video is about consumerism and there will be few questions which will be asked. So if you are done with the challenge, just put done in chat window, so I know that who has completed this challenge. Let me see. So if you have completed the challenge, you can just write completed in the chat window. Okay, Sally has finished. Great, Sally. You can unmute yourself if you want to say something.
I didn't do as well.
Let's see. Let's hope. Let's wait for everyone. So if you have finished, you can type finished in the chat so we know who has done it. Okay, Aras, thank you. Take care. So Ahmed Shah has finished, Sally has finished. Mahin has done. Okay, thank you, Mahin. So we are waiting for more colleagues. Ahmed Shah, Asmik has done, Shahnaz has done. Okay. Hmm. So let me share the screen now. So now for this challenge, this is the result. Can you see the screen? You can do a thumbs up or you can write in the chat window. Okay, great. So Sally, you are most probably, you have scored 66, which is, okay, Sally and Maheen and Ahmed and Hasmik, sorry, you have been able to attempt all the questions, I guess, or maybe, I don't know. It's not 100%, so maybe you have made a mistake with one of the questions, it's my guess. So congratulations, you have all learned how to play this challenge. So let's now dedicate 5 minutes to ask few questions or something you have explored, some idea which actually caught your eye or attention. So Tan, you can unmute and you can share. So if there are any questions or any ideas how you can use it in your classroom, so you are most welcome to unmute and share.
I like them. I love quizzes and games. Where do they get the videos from, or can you put up your own if you create something?
Yes, exactly. So you can, when you create this challenge, so it asks for you a YouTube for the video link. So you can put the URL. So you can put either a YouTube video link there, or if there's your own video, you can put the link there, and it fetches the video from there.
Wonderful. So you can put a YouTube and then stop it to ask a question?
Exactly. That's what I did here.
Wonderful.
That's
Wonderful.
what I did here. Any other question or idea which you got from these two?
I'm using also playposit.com.
Okay. Yes.
More or less the same.
It's more or the same. Exactly. Any question or idea you want to share? Wonderful. Thank you, Maheen. So we have one more tool which we'll be trying in a few minutes. So if there is no question, we can move forward. Let's move forward. Okay. So now we have this tool which we'll discuss. Okay, so how it looks like when it is integrated into LMS. So at Habib University, we have Canvas. So when you integrate this into your LMS, you can create assignments within your LMS or course which you are teaching. And integrating with Zoom is very easy, but if you want to make it a part of your LMS, you want their grades to be compiled through LMS, so you can do that as well. So if you see the screen, you can find there are 3 assignments which I have tried to create in Canvas, and then I have linked them with Educa Play, right? So now Educa Play, when students actually click on this assignment, it would be directly linked with Educa Play, and Educa Play would ask them to attempt this challenge, right? So in that way, you can put in Canvas, for example, you can also see the results that if students have attempted it, if you have given them as an assignment or during the class, so you can see the results as well. And if you can see in this PowerPoint slide, you will find that Educa Play scores out of 50, right? So as I said that I've integrated Educa Play into Canvas, so it's showing me this option here. So as a faculty, or if you are teaching, for example, information literacy sessions through Canvas, so you, or maybe Moodle or Blackboard, so you can actually integrate it, and you can, the results or the grades would be compiled here as well directly. So you do not need to keep a separate record of the activities and the results which came out of these challenges. So technically it's called LTI. Let me write in the chat window so you know what does it mean. It's called LTI, right? So when you go to Educa Play, you will find an LTI option. If you click that option, it will ask you which LMS you are using, and you can select that LMS. it will give you some code which you can put in your LMS, and then it's integrated seamlessly. Let me show it to you as well here as well. Where is LTI option? You see this share with LTI option? Can you see this? On with the filter option, share with LTI. So when you click this, it will ask you which LMS you are using, Canvas, Moodle, or Blackboard. And these are the things which you have to copy according to your LMS and then integrate it in your module or assignment if you want to integrate it. Okay, so this is done. Now quizzes. So there are other applications as well, which you can compare it with quizzes, but quizzes has few advantages. So it's a gamification based tool. So we know that students love challenge and love games. So it actually comes up as a game. You will hear sounds, you can put memes, you can put music, and then every question which you have developed in this tool has separate times for attempting it. So you can put, let's say if you have put 4 questions, you can put question 1's response should come in 30 seconds, question 2 response should come in 1 minute. So you can actually put timer against each question. And students can be also invited to make quizzes for the entire class. So if you want to make your classroom participatory, you can ask students to make quizzes, and then the classroom, the other fellow students can attempt those quizzes as well. It has a multiple choice option, a poll option, an open-ended question option, fill in the blank option, and checkbox option. So these are few of the advantages. And the biggest advantage is that you can also put math equations in it. So what I know that some other quiz making tools do not have this option of putting math equations. So you can put math equations in it as well. And this power up feature is also fascinating because it's a gamification based experience. So students can get more powers, and then these powers can be used, and coins, because they also get coins and collect the coins. And then they can use it for different quizzes and to their advantage. So the website is quizzes.com, where you go and develop the quiz. First, the quiz has to be developed using quizzes.com. And then you share a link to the quiz, and students are then asked to open this website, which is joinmyquiz.com. And the code, once you create the quiz and start the quiz. So my colleague Faiz will share his screen, and he will show you how to start this quiz and how this code is generated. And then students have to put this code here and press join, right? So once you press join, you will find a screen which says, are you entering as a guest, or you have a Microsoft account, or you have a Google account through which you are entering. So each student can put their name in the guest and press login, join, and then they can actually start playing. Unless you press the start button, it won't start. So once all students have joined in, you can press the start button, and then students can join in. So now what you have to do is you have to type this joinmyquiz.com in your browser. So you will see something like this, an interface. So if you are all there, you can do the thumbs up or put in chat that you are there. You have been able to open this site. Okay. Ahmed is there. Sally is there. Okay. Mary is there. Thank you. Asmik, thanks. She's there. Annie is also there. So now I would ask Faiz to show you first that how you will start the quiz, how this numbers comes in, and then your code comes in. Then you have to put the code here. And by the way, this is about citations. So if you teach citations, if you are a librarian or a faculty member who helps students learn citations, so this quiz is about citations. So there are 5 questions in which you have to attempt, and each question has a separate time, and you will actually definitely love this because the way it comes to you is really fascinating. It's like a game. So Faiz, you can share your screen now. Mahin, we have not shared the code yet.
So I guess my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, Faiz.
Okay. So as you can see, we have a quiz which is understanding nuts and bolts of citation and referencing. To start this quiz, I will have to just click here, start a live quiz, and I will select classic mode. And as you can see, there are different options available. I can force my students to select a name which is provided by the game, or I can also allow students to type their own name. And here I am allowing my students to type their name themselves. And I can also offer students that they can log in with their email account. For example, let's say their official student account. So when I start this quiz, I will have to click here on continue. And then as you can see, it gives a code, which is 295349. Now you will have to write this code at the website, which was given to you. That is joinmyquiz.com. As you can see, it is also written up there, joinmyquiz.com, and enter the code 295349. At the moment, none of someone named MT, and he or she must have joined. Let's wait for others. Ahmad Shah also joined.
So there are avatars as well, which are assigned to your name. So Faiz has not pressed start button yet. So Faiz is first enrolling you, letting you in. Once you are all in, then Faiz will press the start button and the quiz will pop up in your screen.
We have 5 participants still now. Let's wait. Sally has joined in as well.
Araz is here, okay. Please share the code here. Faiz, let me type it. 295349. Thanks, Sally. Okay. So this is about APA citations. So we have few librarians here and see how it goes. So I think everyone has logged in. So maybe first, can you check and then press the start button?
Until now, there are 9 participants.
Okay. So we are waiting for a few more. How many? We have actually 6 more participants. Minusing me and Alex, so it would be 4 more. And Faiz, you as well. 3 more participants. Yes, you have to put your name and then press start to get in. So the quiz will start only once a faculty member or an instructional librarian or someone who is doing information literacy sessions with students can press start. So I don't know.
I guess, should I start?
I think yes, you should start.
Okay, 1 more participant. All right.
Okay.
Let's start playing then.
And your time starts now. So you have to follow your screens now. Faiz would stop sharing. You can do it, guys. Guys, can you mute yourself, please? Okay, Maheen has done. Ahmed Shah has done it. So we'll see the results in a moment. Faiz will share his screen again. Once all of us have.
We all have done it. So let's. Okay, so all have done completed it. So let's see who won it. Xenia have won it, and she got 4,700, 100% result.
Congrats, Xenia. So, Xenia, are you a librarian? Okay, so MT is second, and then we have. So no problem, guys. You can attempt it again because quizzes will give you chances to attempt more number of times this quiz could be attempted. You can also see in on your screens if you scroll down, you will find all the answers or responses you have given and which ones were correct and which were not. So as a revision, this gives you an opportunity to uh, review your questions again and the responses you are given and the right responses, so you can attempt it again. If as a faculty member you want to invite students to attempt it again, so you can give them this opportunity again. So quizzes is powerful in this sense that it actually helps review the responses as well. And you must have enjoyed the music, the colors, and the way the questions were coming. So it's sort of a gaming type experience. So we are almost, I think, towards the end of our session. Where is it? Share screen. Okay, so any feedback, any questions? You want to use the chat window, you can write in the chat window, you can unmute yourself. If you want to share any feedback, how do you think this could be used in your classrooms or library sessions? So you are open to share. And how was the overall experience? So this would help us learn a lot as well. So you can unmute or you can type in the chat window. Sally, it's not totally free quizzes. You have to subscribe it, but the free version would be helpful in, you see, if you have, I'm not sure how many quizzes it allows to create the free version. I will check and get back to you, but it's not totally free. So thank you, Ahmed. You found it very interactive and very good. Mary found it very engaging. So any thoughts on how you think this could be used in your classes? It was fun. Okay. Any idea Okay. Okay, Sally thinks that you can ask basic infolet questions, and then you can actually ask students to watch a film and ask questions. That was wonderful. Okay, so Shahnaz found it very helpful and engaging. Okay, great, great. Thank you, Shahnaz.
To have them watch a film and be able to maybe news reports or something and be able to say which ones are to the right, to the left, or what jargon is being used that lets them know it's a little over the top or something is, I think, wonderful.
Yes, this is possible. So Maheen thinks that Zoom sessions will no longer be boring. Okay, great. Thanks, Maheen. So the limitation is subscription. Yes, Amit Shah, you are right. But I said you have three options now. So you have Educa Play, you have Slido. Of course, Slido is not like quizzes, but you can play around these and come up with a mix and match, or where you can play around with subscription or free option as well as these tools. I think this you can manage it easily. Exactly, Mary, you are very right that we should not overdo it. So as I said in the beginning, that it depends on the objectives and the goals you have set for your session or the topic you are trying to teach, and then see how it can help you engage those students. Great. So,
yes, can you hear me?
Yes, Maheen.
Oh, yes, I was raising my hand. So thank you so much for the session, Mr. Noor. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed these
Pleasure.
challenges a lot. But I think these would prove to be more effective for the non-graded activities as compared to the graded ones where we need invigilation, where we need monitoring. So yes, this would be very effective. I mean, when it comes to making your Zoom sessions more interesting, or I mean, any of your online classes more interesting. So I really enjoyed this one, and I would like to incorporate these in my online sessions from this time on. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Yes, you are right. As I said, it can be made a part of the assignments as well, but monitoring may be a challenge if we want to see that how much students have invested their time in figuring out the responses and how. Shahnaz, you are saying something? You have to unmute yourself.
You could use it as a bonus for the class because you have to give them some challenge, some to let them be engaged. Without grades, they wouldn't be engaged. And if they would like to have it, of course, you'll not use it as exams or something, but as a matter of fact, to let them do it with a little bit, 1 point or so wouldn't harm anybody. And they will be happy of having these 1 or 2 points. Yeah.
Yes, maybe.
Because I'm using this with my class, I'm giving them all the semester 2%, the whole semester a bonus, and they are very pleased and they are participating in it.
Wonderful. Thank you, Shahnaz, for this idea.
You are welcome.
So is there any question? Apparently no. So let's put this session to close. Thank you so much for your active participation, energies, and enthusiasm for this workshop. Inshallah. Okay, Maheen has a question.
Yes, I just want to ask, do we have this information stored somewhere? I mean, in the repository or something, in any of the, do we have any of the EMICOL resources online that we can go and consult? Or can we just get the recording for this session?
Yes, definitely. you would get recording, as well as I will be sharing the copy of this PowerPoint presentation with you as well. So you will be getting these definitely by maybe end of this week.
Because a
Alex
lot
could,
of,
sorry.
no, I'll
I was
let
just
you
gonna,
go.
I was just gonna say we'll share these out later today or by tomorrow, I think at the latest. Is that cool?
Yes, I was
Great.
just asking whether we have these things in the written form or not, because a lot of links, a lot of useful resources, I mean, links to them were there in the slides that you shared. So that's my question.
Sure. I will share the copy with Alex, and he will be putting on most probably on Amical Connect.
All right. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. So thank you, Araz. Thanks, Alex, for all your support and help. This session could not have been done without your support. My colleague Faiz, thanks to you as well, because this was a great support to do it together. And thanks to you all the respected faculty members and the colleagues from Amical.
Thank you.
Pleasure.